What up? What up? What up? It's Rec League Podcast, man. I'm Randy Little. This is episode 117. Should be 118, but technical glitches on my end led to missing an episode. And I think we're fixed. I mean, until I'm done recording literally this, I won't know, you know what I mean? Still gotta edit. It's an iMovie thing on the MacBook, and I just hope that it's sorted out. The R on the sign behind my head is off, and now that bugs me. My bad. YouTube saw that. Anchor, Good Pods, wherever you get your podcast fix, y'all did not see that. Speaking of where you get your podcast fix, I want to shout out Germany. I want to shout out Australia. I want to shout out the UK. I know the United States is holding us down, but no matter where you hang your hat, where you sit your ass, I appreciate the listens, the watches, the views, the numbers, the thumbs up, the thumbs down, the 1 star, the 5 stars. It's all love. Recently, in the movie theater, I'm gonna say in the past 2 weeks, because I'm not gonna go all the way back a month. Like the weekend of August 11th, I feel like nothing came out, but like the Dracula on the boat, the last voyage of the Demeter came out. I'm not gonna watch it. I don't care. Heart of Stone with Gal Gadot on Netflix came out. I might watch it eventually, but I kind of don't care. This past weekend, Strays came out, Blue Beetle came out. Both of those reviews are live, edited, posted, and on my personal YouTube page. Randy Little. Look your boy up. Check for the kid. The last couple Tuesdays on physical media, Shout Factory put out Little Nicky. Like, finally, the last Adam Sandler movie I needed to get upgraded from DVD got put out on Blu-ray. I'm so thrilled. Fast X came out. Enter the Dragon got a 4K. The Yellowstone prequel, 1923, got a Blu-ray release. There's so many different Fast X Blu-rays. And that stupid Universal, that's fucking milking this shit. That 10 movie combo pack, 1, that doesn't have Hobbs and Shaw in it. 2, it came out when we all know more Fast and Furious is coming. I hate it. This past Tuesday, we got Asteroid City from Wes Anderson. We got The Machine. Hotel Transylvania Transformania came out on Blu-ray. The Blu-ray.com message boards are so pissed there's no 4K. The Lincoln Lawyer, which I believe is a series on Netflix, got a physical Blu-ray. This upcoming Tuesday on physical, The Nightmare Before Christmas is getting a 4K. It looks like Hackers is getting a 4K steelbook. Makes me throw up in my mouth a little bit. The Blackening and You Hurt My Feelings, 2 movies that didn't come to my theater, are coming to my collection. That packaging for The Blackening 4K is kind of fire. And then what? The last Tuesday before the next episode, Infinity Pool, that I feel like came out, well, it's uncut. Infinity Pool was in the theater in January. I feel like the physical came out March, April. And now there's an uncut 4K coming out on the 29th. The Flash, the movie, and The Flash, the final season of the show, come out on Blu-ray on the same day. Warner Brothers is crazy. I could say more hurtful words, but I won't, because everybody knows Warner Brothers is trash by now. No Hard Feelings with Jennifer Lawrence also comes out on Blu-ray. Obviously, we're getting a Flash, the complete series Blu-ray, but we still can't get a starter of the final season Blu-ray. And I was tripping in my line of thinking, because the next 2 weeks in the theater, this upcoming Friday, this upcoming weekend, we got Gran Turismo. For whatever reason, Sony pushed it back like 2 weeks. like that. Like that's gonna do anything. They're pushing all these commercials talking about how great it is. This Rotten Tomato score with like 3 reviews. My hopes for Gran Turismo are not high. But the Labor Day weekend, the weekend of September 1st, we get the Equalizer 3, which is sure to be fire. Like Denzel had never done a sequel, let alone a trilogy. So like, and it's got to be the last one, right? So like, it's got to be fire. And then Bottoms with I say with, like, I remember off the top of my head who's in it. I know Marshawn Lynch is in it, but the girl that just voiced April O'Neil, Ayo Aderby, I probably mispronounced her name, she's in it. And then I think one of the girls from Bodies, Bodies, Bodies is in it. It's another R-rated high school comedy that looks hilarious. Hopefully it is. When I come back, I'm going to have Rocket, I'm going to have E-Sig. We talk Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem, and we talk Blue Beetle. All spoilers, so if you haven't seen either of those movies, go see them and then come back and show us some love. And then I got something to spit at the end. 'Cause that's how I do. It's Rec League. Back once again. Took a month off. We had to let Eric fix his camera, so we stopped getting the avatar every episode. Nah, I had the technical glitches. But that's my business. See, last episode, like, I wanted to just do like a full hour, just straight Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, just 80s babies, talking about the whole franchise, geeking out over the new movie. Rocket, did you see it? I think I liked it the most out of everybody that normally does the show.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I liked it a lot.
I saw Eric gave it like a 1.5 out of 5.
Yeah, right.
Nah, hell nah.
No, it's only the second best animated movie to me, next to the Spider-Verse movie.
That's
Spider-Verse
a fact. Sequel. Animation has been spoiling us this year.
Yeah.
But it's like, last episode, we was going to show love, pay that respect to Paul Rubens and Angus Cloud. But now we got Mark Margolis, William Friedkin, Ron Cephas Jones just passed. Sig, start us off with respects to some of these people that passed away.
Well, I'm gonna go to the Chi-Town family. William Friedkin,
Blue Chips,
born in Chicago. And that's funny you mentioned that. That dude has a very, what do you say, interesting
filmography. Dude, I think we talked about it off wax, man. If the French Connection Blu-rays wasn't already going off on eBay, they about to go like $500. Yeah. eBay's about to be stupid.
You got the coincidence of the new Exorcist coming out whenever later this year.
Never heard of her.
We'll get to that. No, but
David Gordon Green already fucked up the legacy of one horror classic.
Yeah.
Damn you, Blumhouse.
But no, we know William Friedkin from The Exorcist, French Connection, and he did a movie in the 80s that was fantastic. It was, I think, the star's very first starring role in anything. I think Sean know what I'm talking about. So To Live and Die in L.A.
Yeah, like I was about to bring it up. I was going to say it. I didn't want to cut you off, though.
No, that's all good. And you got Willem Dafoe in there looking like he's 18. I don't know when the last time y'all saw it. But it's Criterion, isn't it?
I don't think
Kino Lorber just dropped it on 4K.
Yeah, Kino Lorber. Yeah, I think one. No, you know what? It's not Criterion. I think it's Shout Factory. Shout Select.
Shout Factory dropped it. Yeah.
Yeah, Shout Select. Now Shout Factory. Now hell of a movie. And I'm just spitting out recommendations because this dude is. But yeah, then you have y'all know on Instagram I do the martial art Mondays. William Friedkin, he passed away on a Monday. Now I'm like, oh yeah, he made The Hunted.
Yeah.
With Tommy Lee Jones and Benicio del Toro, which was just, I saw that in theaters 20 ago. And that's I think a super underrated movie. and pretty good, but and bizarre movie. I don't know if y'all saw it, Killer Joe.
No, I never saw that one.
No, never seen that.
Killer Joe with Matthew McConaughey. Recommended is out there, but he got one more movie after that, the Kane Mutiny Marshall. I've never even heard of it. I'm not gonna lie. Well, I don't know if it's out. It say 2023, written and directed by. But yeah, fantastic director. Can't go wrong with most of the stuff in his filmography. And, and one more funny thing, I saw Blue Chips at the drive-in. I don't know why I remember that.
Cause you old.
And, no, what's that?
Cause you old.
No, shut up. No, you know why I remember that? I take that back. Because, this was Shaq when he was still coming into the public view in the spotlight.
Yep.
And I don't know when the last time y'all saw this movie, but I think his introduction, he's like coming into the room and he's bending down under the door, and he comes up, and then they show like a wide shot, and my mom like, damn, look at that big son of a bitch. And that was, and Anthony Hardaway was in that movie too.
Penny was in there too.
Yeah, Penny. Yeah. But and good old Nick Nolte growling and yelling at everybody. Like, what you gonna do? But
Ari Hogan.
Nah, but that's William Friedkin and Paul Rubens. Yeah, I'm of the age where I got to see his prime as an entertainer for children. With starting with Pee Wee's Big Adventure and then a TV show. Now I phrased it that way because before that, a lot of people don't know or forget, his act was a stage show and it was more adult oriented. And he was it was adult humor, even though they kept a lot of the innuendo and all that stuff, but it was more, you could go back on YouTube because it came out like early HBO.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tim Burton's first movie, which is nuts. Danny Elfman's second movie doing the score for it. He already found his footing, which is crazy. And
Legends gonna legend.
Right. Co-written by the late Phil Hartman, Pee Wee's Big Adventure. It's just a fantastic movie. It's goofy, silly.
Yeah.
It has a scene in there that probably traumatized children for years with Large Marge.
Large Marge.
This is so random and stupid, but it's perfect. But that's what the humor was.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, did any of you see the recent Netflix movie? Look at Sean. He's like, see, like you never heard of it. But no, that never finished. I tried to start it, and there was one funny joke in there. I remember. Who's the guy from Magic Mike? I can't say his last name. It's Joe Magliano.
Close enough.
He was so he was in this new Pee Wee Herman movie, Netflix Pee Wee Herman movie, and Pee Wee's the character Pee Wee Herman didn't know who he was, and he's like, "You never seen Magic Mike?" And Pee Wee Herman, surprisingly not. So they took. But yeah, no, R.I.P. to him though, and yeah, it's just so much you can't even pinpoint what you want to talk about when it comes to him. But yeah, I'm just sad you got to say this. There's so many people passed away, and
yeah.
But yeah, I'll pass it off. Let you guys talk about some folks.
Rocket.
Just gonna carry on with Eric saying, William Friedkin. A lot of people. Another movie that I recommend about him that nobody talks about is movie Jade.
Oh
with
yeah,
Linda Florentino,
David Caruso,
Chaz Palminteri. That movie is wild, but it's really good.
Honestly, glad he made it.
With Paul Rubens, like Eric was saying, I remember watching. They would show it on HBO all the time, Pee Wee's Playhouse, and people forget Lawrence Fishburne played the cowboy.
Cowboy Curtis.
Yeah, that's the crazy part. Like a lot of people, when you go back and watch that, there's a lot famous people that are famous now that were in that show that were like nobodies, like So it's kind of funny. But I grew up watching that. Like they had that show on HBO monthly growing up. Every month they had it on there. But the one more though is Angus Cloud. Up and coming young man, artist. He was supposed to do the biopic of Mac Miller and all that. That
Was he
was in the
really?
works. Yeah, that was in the
Yeah, it was
works.
in talks. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, there's not much more. I mean, Eric pretty much covered it all. But
Yeah, that's why like Nick watched Euphoria. Like I don't think the three of us have sat through Euphoria. I saw my
I feel
wife.
like this. I've seen a couple episodes. My wife watches it,
Yeah, my wife was watching it.
and like I watched a couple episodes, and I think after I watched one, I went in the shower and took a shower and bleached because I felt disgusting. It was like nasty. It's like it's just crazy. Like some of the stuff was like I remember I was in high school, but I don't remember none of this though. So it was like it's wild.
Yeah. And there's a video circulating around with Angus Cloud when he was not even 5 years ago. He was busting tables and
In
dealing
New York,
with this
yep.
with this rude these customers being goofy. But yeah, that's
Yeah,
he
man.
made it, but unfortunately, and
yeah. Like I just like my whole aura is asshole. My whole aura is standoffish. Don't fuck with me. But like with y'all two, Nick, Merritt, if you don't know me, if you can find me on social and you need somebody to talk to, you going through some shit, you need an event, hit me up, man. I will listen. Like, I don't give a fuck. I'm trying to be serious. Your issues are important. I don't want you to think that don't nobody care about your ass. Like you could talk to me. You could tell me just I need to talk. Don't say shit. I just need to get this off my chest, and I'm cool with it. Like please, man. Like your life matters. Now I can get back to being goofy. So I guess, man, like both of y'all are old as fuck. So like, did y'all miss the train on Turtles? Cause like the comics was like 84, right? The animated series was 87. So like, and then the first movie was 90.
So let me take this one first, I guess. So once again, kind of like with Pee Wee Herman, the Pee Wee Herman character, people don't know or just forget that first comic, the Turtles were hardcore.
That's the one thing I wanted Seth Rogen to do that the new movie didn't do. I wanted them to all start off with red bandanas and then figure out how to like switch up the colors, but they did their own thing.
And that's an interesting fact. The initial comic book, they all had the red bandanas. The different color bandanas didn't come to the cartoon.
The animated series, right?
Yeah, the first animated series in the late 80s. But no, to answer your question, Randy, I was smack dab in the middle of that first prime of Ninja Turtles. And yeah, it was I remember a lot of it. It was something. I got a picture. Ninja Turtles 2, 91. Actually having
second movie I ever saw in the theater.
Yeah. I don't know where it is. I have an autograph from Ho Sung Pak, the martial arts double for Michelangelo for Ninja Turtles 2. And he was signing autographs Evergreen Plaza in Chicago.
Bro, like I remember like when Turtles was really popping in the early 90s. Mm-hmm. My grandma basically like lived like downtown Indianapolis. And to head like a little south, we would pass this like dojo. And there used to be a dude dressed up like Michelangelo he didn't have no sign or nothing. He was just outside like doing his thing, kicking and shit.
Oh wow.
I would always get Michelangelo.
Yeah, it's people, it's hard to describe. And experiencing as a child, 91 was a hell of a year for me. Being a fan of the Turtles, the Bulls won their first championship.
Anyway.
And but no, it's
I'm sure they had to beat the Knicks to get to that championship.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You bring it up. You bring it up old.
The Pacers were still on the come up. We were still sad.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan ain't start whooping our ass until that second three-peat.
Do you all know familiar with Corridor Crew?
No.
They're visual effects, independent visual effects house. They have a show, visual effects artists react, animators react. But anyway, they had a dude just yesterday, which is funny. And people don't know how groundbreaking, and Randy, you know this, between Ninja Turtles 2 and Ninja Turtles 3, why the animatronics are so jarring. Because
by jarring, you mean trash.
Yeah, in part 3 is trash because specifically Ninja Turtles 2, the movie, is some of the most celebrated and advanced puppetry in history.
I was gonna say, as much as I love the original, I think the animatronics for 2 are better.
Yeah, and they actually improved it. It's like they invented a new technology where they could control the mouth movements and articulation with a hand puppet, basically. And it's kind of like they were comparing it to, well, part 3. Part 3 looks like sock puppets, or they look phony, not like a real thing is talking to you, and it's jittery. But anyway, yeah, that's But yeah, I was smack dab in anything Ninja Turtles. And here's how big of a fan I was. Brandy, you probably won't remember this. The Ninja Turtles, they had this thing sponsored by Pizza Hut called "Coming Out of Their Shell." It was they literally had a music concert that they would tour with, and I remember I wanted to go to it. I never made it.
I vaguely know what you're talking about.
And they had an album and everything. It was just stupid. They could put out anything and people will buy it. And then don't get me started on the video games. But
I had a video games.
Go ahead. I'm over here rambling.
I remember growing up excited by that first one. I remember that's where Domino's got the 30 minutes or less from the first movie. You know, so it's pretty much the craze was the older. My cousins love that stuff.
Bro, you were in the belly of the beast too. I would have loved to have been in New York at that time.
Oh, they were going quick. You had people dressed up as that. Like when it came to Halloween, that's all you saw was people dressed up as turtles. I mean, that's pretty much the costume.
I can't remember how many times I was in that frail ass plastic.
And that's the thing is like the costumes was like that. I don't even know it was like that plastic plastic mask with the band strap in the back. I mean, that's all kids
children
were wearing. It was just
this is what we went through in the 90s.
Yep. And it was either everybody wanted to be Michelangelo, but that sold out. So now you got to be Donatello or Leonardo. It was wild.
It was that weak ass plastic with big ass eye holes, and you had a rubber band cutting your brain circulation off. Yeah.
But no, growing up, I mean, and then when the toys came out, you had to be there. The minute they put them on the shows, you had to be there. If not,
I had all of them.
Anything. You won't get anything.
I got all the re-releases from 2009 hung up on my wall right now. I never found Casey Jones, son of a bitch.
Oh, wow. I want to get the new ones they just re-released. That's what I want to get.
I ain't gonna hold you. I want them too. But I got the Funkos, and I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, I was about to say the Funko Pops. They got a few collections of those. But oh man! But funny, you mentioned that about New York. For part 1 and 2, I don't know where they filmed part 3 of the original movies. It was
in feudal Japan, duh.
So part 1 and 2, they did like establishing shots, and I think it's one scene they did in New York. I think it's the scene when they introduced Casey Jones. It was actually filmed in New York, the first movie. But other than that, everything else was in North Carolina.
Gotta be. The heck was that?
That's crazy.
Kind of looked like a big turtle in a trench coat.
Yeah.
You going to LaGuardia, right?
That's terrible, Andy.
That's how you gonna do me? That's how you gonna do me?
But that's your boy.
I hope it's terrible that I remember the line that much. Not my Brooklyn. Not my Brooklyn shit.
But who said that though? Who was that though? The actor.
The dude that was in the Raphael suit.
And the voice.
Yeah, sure.
No, that was him. That's he did the voice. He was the only person who was in a suit and did the voice.
He played one of the Josh Pace. He
Josh Pace.
He was one of the douchey cops in Scream 3.
Yeah, like, this is the scene where you come with us. Stupid. But yeah, and but yeah, let me ask you this, Randy. Since we got you on here, you didn't like the
It's
animated...
my show.
Yeah, since we got you on here.
Since you got me on here.
Since you're here.
There's invisible ink on this motherfucker that says host.
No, the animated movie from the 2000s. Was it 07?
When it first came out, I thought it was real dope. But also, like, I was 21, 20, and was just like, yes, new Turtles. Upon rewatch, it's incredibly mid. Like Leonardo going down to like South America, the train is fire. The introduction to all the Turtles is great. It's just the villain is weak as fuck.
Yeah.
It's just Turtles 3 didn't like I said in chat, didn't want to use no Rat King, Slash, Leatherhead, Pizza Face. Teenage Mutant Turtles has so many dope rogues, bad guys, villains, past Krang and Shredder, but the movies only ever want to use Krang and Shredder. That's what I loved about Mutant Mayhem. They didn't give us Krang and Shredder. They gave us new origins that, like, if you haven't seen the movie yet, we gonna spoil some shit, so you might as well fuck off until you see it. They're doing their own lore. They're laying the groundwork for their own origins. And that's dope. Because I've never known the Turtles to learn martial arts because Splinter didn't like humans for self-defense. It was always to protect. And it's cool because, like, we kind of in a society where, like, stranger danger is more than just a word. Like, you don't know somebody, you could die in 2 minutes. And a father, and they show Splinter taking the Turtles out into the city and humans freaking out just because of how they look. And we live in a world where we hate and prejudge what we don't know and understand. So, like, it was relatable to today.
That's you said it. Yeah, the villain was whack.
The villain was whack as fuck in 07.
But I like the take they did this with, Seth Rogen took with this, Mutant Mayhem, because it's a different direction, It's like every comic book movie, like let's take Batman. Everybody does the scene where his parents die in the alley. Spider-Man, we already know that Uncle Ben dies. Like, you don't have to repeat it. And going into this, I didn't know what to expect. And the take of, we are down here, because, humans are the enemy in their eyes. You know what I mean? And that was the reason why he kept them down there. The Turtles wanted to go out, they exploit. I love the scene where they're going shopping for groceries and they're chilling and they're seeing a movie from a distance, and they see the humans, us, talking, getting together, cuddling up, things like that, having that, feel of family, even though they are a family, but that's something that they can't have because they're not liked or wanted in that thing.
It's like every version of the Turtles always like have that need to and that desire to be accepted by society. It just felt so much more deep and emotional with Mutant Mayhem.
And Jackie Chan playing that role.
Jackie Chan was
like it was great. It was great, But like the take itself, like there was no Casey Jones in here as well. It was totally different. And that's something that's why I think I enjoyed it a lot more than what I thought, because at first I was skeptical about, the look of it, how it was going to look. Like we said, Spider-Man, Into the Spider-Verse, the first one, if you looked, it looked like a comic book, like the little dots in a comic book on the paper and all that. Like, that was dope. Coming into this, like, the style of it, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to enjoy the style, but 2 minutes in, that was the last thing I was even worried about. Like, I was already sucked in.
Bro, yeah, like all the like pre-release interviews and shit was like, it looks like kids drew all the characters and all this setting in a notebook. So it's like, bro, it's like a flip book come to life with like a little like claymation twinge to it. It's fire, bro. It's fire. I think it stands apart from Spider-Verse.
And I like the take that they did also, like you said, you know, Ice Cube as Superfly.
Yes.
You know, that ooze that got drained out, like, it's not just turtles and rats that were, you know, found in there. It was other insects or other animals. So they also got infected. So that's the part I like. It wasn't like, you know, because every other one, you know, how did this happen? Okay, there. But, you know, there's other stuff down there.
The whole Baxter Stockman angle with him being responsible for all the mutations is fire. And then just like Superfly was like his pet. So we don't know if he's going to become a fly himself in sequels. And like, this is why we need Merritt here. Merritt has this theory that the Maya Rudolph character, like with, what's her name? Fuck, I don't know.
Yeah, what's her name?
The doctor, the main girl,
with the glasses. That she's really Krang. She'll like mutate into Krang in sequels.
That's the sign.
She kind of has. She has the look. Like she's kind of got like a pinkish hue to her character.
Yeah, and there's the Ice Cube character. There's and interesting. I know a lot of children definitely won't get it, but his name is a nod to to something else, Superfly. An old blaxploitation movie from the 70s.
Oh, yeah.
6 in the morning, police at my door.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Yeah.
But yeah, and how is it doing? I didn't check since the opening weekend.
It's not doing well.
Box office wise.
It's not doing well.
You bite your tongue.
But it's also one of the, like, I feel...
Is this second or third weekend?
I think it's the third weekend.
It's third, I think, yeah.
It made 15 in its second.
Yeah, it's the summer of Barbie and Oppenheimer.
But I think that's the thing is, I think like worldwide it's made over 104 mil. Now
that's a round budget.
That's So, and who knows what the updated numbers are going to be for this weekend? But I just feel like a lot of these movies with Barbie and Oppenheimer, I get that. I think they dropped at the wrong time, or they should have dropped at least a couple of weeks earlier, make their money right away. I don't know. Like Mission Impossible, it dropped the week before and it just got eaten up. I mean, but also it's counter entertainment though. You know, you have Barbie and Oppenheimer. Now here's a kids movie. You know what I mean? It's totally different. I enjoyed it. I know it's not making much money, but it's definitely worth going to see. It's a lot of fun. I think it's a really good movie.
Yeah, I think a lot of these studios, and I could understand to a degree, but I wouldn't want to take the risk. A lot of these studios didn't think Oppenheimer would be the juggernaut that it is because the type of movie is something interesting. I mean, given the type of movie that it is, it's a 3-hour biopic.
It's a Christopher Nolan movie.
That's the key.
Correct.
I was coming. No, I hear you. But you got to think.
I ain't gonna like.
You know
like Nolan threw his temper tantrum during 2020 and the whole Tenet release debacle and shit, and he kind of like went diva on Warner Brothers. But it's still Nolan, man. You know he's gonna do work.
Yeah. But then even that was understandable. You know, he's an advocate for his movies being seen a certain way.
To me, I ain't shit. I ain't got a horse in the race. Tenet came out in the theaters, not straight to HBO Max at the time, because formerly known as HBO Max. He just went off on, like, he didn't have a movie coming out in 2021, but he still threw his temper tantrum that Warner Brothers was going to do day and date all of 2021.
Yeah.
You want to like stick up for your peers, cool. But LeBron James, I'm going to take my talents to Universal Pictures. Bro.
Yeah. But hey, I mean, it's that's business. I guess you feel disrespected. and you know who you are, like you said, it's Christopher Nolan.
It's not like Denis Villeneuve ain't coming out. My next movie is gonna be with Paramount.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, Denis is no Christopher Nolan, but
He close.
not
She
close. That's
And
not
he
as
did.
far away.
But he did chew their ass out, though.
Yeah, he did though.
chew
I mean,
their
a
out.
lot of them did because what Warner Brothers did, they didn't. They only told certain people that they were doing.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I think that pissed off most of the people, and there's really nothing they could do. So.
Ugh, did I just sound like I was taking up for the studio? Ugh.
Well, yeah, remember those details, how they went about it, you know, business decisions and all that.
Fucking over whoever they could.
Yeah, but no, it's yeah, like you said, it's Christmas. That's the key. I'm glad he's getting that. He can carry a movie just with name recognition alone.
Yeah, yeah, he's one of those.
Mm-hmm. Because think about this: how many people do y'all know personally when you mentioned Oppenheimer, who knew who Robert Oppenheimer was?
Negative
you know
zero.
What I mean? Because when he announced it, like, Oppenheimer, like, oh, what's that gonna be about? What do you think?
The father.
That's what I said.
The architect of death.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know, you know, and it's awesome because this movie is educating a lot of people.
Good.
Of who wouldn't have known about this, but yeah,
well,
that's that. It's a crazy summer.
Why don't y'all educate the people who don't know about the Michael Bay produced Ninja Turtle movies so I can get this back on track?
Oh yeah, we can educate them. Don't watch them.
Yep.
That's a lesson.
Not good.
I was about to say, did y'all hear Alan Richardson interview about how shitty it was behind the scenes? But Eric, the one that sent us that video.
And let me Ninja Turtles. And back up on this.
Power.
So to get this out the way real quick, the 1990 Ninja Turtles, the original April O'Neil, that was
Judith Hoag. And y'all know the story behind why she wasn't in the sequel. Because she was not as attractive as Paige Turco.
Well, damn, Randy.
Man.
Really?
Hey, they both fine.
No, but I got to give her props because she did what a lot of people didn't care about back in the day.
She didn't like the violence or whatever, right?
No, the violence was fine. She didn't like how they went about. So the movie was a co-production of Golden Harvest and New Line Cinema. It was independent, so no unions.
So did they pick up?
Because of that,
did they pick up all the extras, take them back to like the hotel or whatever, and then pick her up last?
No, it wasn't that. It wasn't her.
Oh, that was different Ninja Turtles.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're gonna get to that. No, she was concerned about the stunt performers, and she said they were treating them like crap. She said they would be working them 16 hours a day. They wouldn't get proper breaks because they were in those suits. A lot of them were getting exhausted, and like the Foot Clan, they were accidentally make contact in fight scenes and get knocked out, and they would fire them because they were hurt. So she was trying to speak up for the people who didn't have a voice, and they didn't like that. They got rid of her.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, and I wish it would have got more coverage. And you know, they say creative differences. That's what they said. But now she came out and spoke about that. And
creative differences, aka she didn't like the bullshit we were pulling and called us out.
Yeah, but I guess it would get fixed because after that first movie, the jarring tonality, the jarring tone between the first and the second movie is just like, man,
combat cold cuts.
Oh my God, and you know, and speaking of which, Donatello was the only person in the second movie to use his actual weapon on another person.
They say his teeth were made of wool.
Yeah, Leonardo uses his swords to jump on the ceiling. That's it.
Yeah. Oh, bro, he had those like when he was in TGRI, like he had those like rubber training swords or whatever.
Yeah, he had some escrima, and you got swords using escrima sticks, and Raphael, he didn't even. But yeah, they totally toned down the violence because the parents were complaining and Like, Ninja Turtles aren't supposed to cuss? Well, yeah, they were, because they did. Shut up.
I'll tell you, like, they got Batman Returns before Batman Returns.
Yeah, you did say that, but no, the Michael Bay produced Ninja Turtles. Oh boy, we want to start with that one.
Oof.
And
like,
and wasn't it you, Randy? I'm sorry,
man, like, that's why, like, y'all can't trust my fresh out the theater reviews, because I like some shit in the moment. In 2014, I probably gave Michael Bay's Turtles like a 3.5 or a 4. Now that shit is flirting with a 2.
Damn. Yeah, I gave it that right out the gate. I pulled up my old review and posted on Letterboxd recently, and after that, I found out about the reshoots they did because and it was you who didn't know about that, right, Randy?
Probably not.
Yeah. Or what about you, Sean?
It was
that William Fichtner was originally Shredder.
See, that's what, like.
No, I didn't know about that. Did not know about that.
I saw the original trailers, like, sold him as Shredder.
Yeah, you go watch and you can see it. Then they did pickup shoots with adding old boy, the Japanese dude.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah. And even in the movie at the end, because they were able to do ADR and all that, when they were fighting Shredder in the end, that is William Fichtner supposed to be in the suit.
Interesting.
But they, of course, they edited to make it the other guy because you don't see his face, so they could play that off easily.
When it became the Amazing Spider Teenage Ninja Man Turtles.
But yeah, I don't know, and I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I know this. When they drop those,
now you know.
Because everything's coming out on 4K, and they drop those on 4K, I was like, nah, I'm good. I'll stick with my Blu-rays.
Yeah.
Like, they need to bring out the original ones. Those I'll do. But
Out of the Shadows had Bebop and Rocksteady and Krang.
Yeah, what about the second one?
That's the one with Stephen Amell, right?
Oh boy, it's Casey Jones.
Yeah.
He's in it.
Stephen Crybaby Amell in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like watching it. He's just
a Jose Canseco bat?
Yeah.
Tell me, you didn't pay money for this.
Yeah, that's just lightning in the bottle, that first movie. It's a reason we keep going back to it. We try to talk about the other stuff. Like, oh, man.
No, I will vouch for the first 2 and Mutant Mayhem. I'll watch the other 4 and be like, damn, it's not good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and part 2, I know Randy, us being wrestling fans, Sean Super Shredder in part 2. You know who played him, right? Yeah, no.
Ooh. Jimmy Snuka?
Oh, no. Too sweet. Kevin Nash.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the Big Daddy Cool Diesel. Yeah, it's pictures of him out there with his with the mask on.
With the eye makeup?
Yeah, with the eye makeup. And my boy is in the movie. He's in
he definitely didn't say, then so be it.
Be it. Hey, low-key, I mean, he pushed him back, and that flip-up he did was like, oh.
Yeah.
Big old nerd. But Keno, Ernie Reyes Jr., when he's trying to go undercover to get into the foot, and oh boy, and Sean, you tell me this, I do not think that actor was from New York.
No.
Like, the dude was so, all of you is gonna have to take a little text.
No. Like,
it seemed
I thought you were talking about the, and we work in concealment.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. Me and my wife go through this argument. I think I sound like everybody else. She's like, no, you don't. But at the end of the day, I think I sound like everybody else. But there are certain ways that people, when they try to talk a certain way, I'm like, yep, that's not you can tell it's not natural.
Oh, so that's why you roasting me.
Voice acting, it just, yeah. Yeah.
And
also,
that's funny. Like, go ahead.
No, it's just funny because, like, when something flows, it flows. But you could definitely tell they were trying in that scene. That's all I'm saying.
But in that scene, they standing outside before they go to the place, and in the background is Michael Jai White as an extra, and he never makes it to the other scene until when they were fighting. He just an extra in that one little scene. That goes to show you how far you could come. Like, man,
that's crazy.
For sure.
Have you guys seen the one? It's definitely a DC property. Was it the Ninja Turtles and Batman or something like that?
Oh, that's fire.
Have you guys seen that one?
That movie's
I
fire.
got yeah.
Yeah, they got And let me ask y'all this: did y'all know? I forget. So it's Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird. Somewhere, I think in the 2000s, one actually sold off his rights to the other. I don't know if you ever heard about that.
I'll always see Eastman like talking about the shit, but like Mutant Mayhem had like a Laird Easter egg.
Yeah, they always do that, but eventually, but funny enough, there was a resurgence after he sold off his piece of the Ninja Turtles, and I think it was Peter Laird who sold his half because he tried to go on and do something else and it didn't work out.
I think so.
Comic book series.
That sounds
but
right.
But he would slowly come back. I don't know if he has that big piece he had before, but he's back in the fold. But yeah, Kevin Eastman definitely made off because before that, right after that, Nickelodeon bought them.
I was about to say that's when Paramount and Nickelodeon got the rights, right?
Yeah, and then he made bank from that. So that's just that's something.
How many seasons was the show on Nickelodeon?
I think they're already on like their second or third different show.
Yeah, they have which show is the question because they had like 3 different iterations.
They did a 2012 show and then they did like the Rise of the Ninja Turtles or some shit.
Yeah.
I've only seen the 87 animated series and then I started the 03 series, but I've seen like 5 episodes.
No, but that's nuts though. Like you mentioned when the original comic came out and they're about to be around for 40 years.
That's crazy, 40 years.
Mm-hmm. The Ninja Turtles.
I remember the original movies and the first animated series. Besides that, besides the rest of the movies coming out, okay, here and there, but like the Nickelodeon stuff, I never watched any of that stuff.
Yeah. In 03, they came out with something.
Did you watch the Ninja Turtle Wrestlers?
The Ninja Turtle. In WWE.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that little clip. You ever seen that, Sean?
Were you the one that put me onto that? I didn't know about that shit until like 3 months ago.
Yeah, I'll put it in the chat again. In WWE, these tag team wrestlers came out as Ninja Turtles. And they did this bit where one of them got knocked on their back and they couldn't get up. Oh, hey. It's so bizarre. But yeah, it's that's a hell of a thing. It'll forever be in pop culture, I hope.
But you know what needs to be omitted from pop culture? Vanilla Ice did not cook Ninja Rap right there on the spot.
No, I've seen the hell out of here. They pay. Oh my goodness! I think I mentioned this to y'all. This is 1991. I'm gonna look this up. Inflation. They paid that fool. 1991. What is 32 years ago? They paid that fool $1 million for that one song. A song. Not an album. Not
all right, Allen Iverson.
Right.
Not an album. Not an album. Not an album. A song. A single. I played the shit out of them soundtracks. The first 2 soundtracks, I had them motherfuckers on tape driving my grandpa crazy.
I'm not gonna lie, I know the whole damn dance that they were doing.
I bet you do.
Yeah, that's another thing about Mutant Mayhem. The soundtrack was sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, don't get me started.
Go ahead, start.
Right?
Yeah. The music soundtrack was sick.
All right.
Go ahead, start. Hey,
and
it's already on Lou's Best Animated Feature, The Spider-Verse. So like, let's talk about the music where it might have a better chance to win something.
But the score, I don't know if y'all really was listening to it. Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross.
It was fire.
And so I might have to punch that up on Spotify, but that's just I guess they got their kids in mind. They've been doing a lot of animated stuff because they did Soul. They won the Oscar for Soul. Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, and they trying to work on that legacy for the children.
I just hope. I know it's not, like I said, it's not doing well in the box office. I just hope they just pick it up for a sequel. I would love to see a sequel.
I think it's already greenlit. They're gonna do like a show too.
But the question is, what was the budget? That's the question versus how much it's making.
Let's see here.
I would imagine it didn't cost too much. I mean,
let me see it. Budget 70 million, box office 118.
Okay, yeah, it's a chance.
So they got to make at least
in June
about 200 mil. About 200 mil break even.
Probably. In June 22, Robin said there were plans for multiple Turtle movies. In July 23, Rowe expressed interest in a sequel featuring Shredder. Later that month, it was reported that a sequel and a 2D animated TV series, Tales of the Ninja Turtles, had been greenlit. Rowe set to return. Point Grey will produce. I wonder if the kids will do the voice. You know, sometimes they be getting different voice actors for TV shows and shit.
Right. Yeah, the thing is, I guess they'll probably wait and see how it does on video also.
Yeah, that goes towards that as well. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why these studios, they just want to break even at the theater. They break even at the theater, then all the ancillary stuff like the shirts, the toys, the video games, the movies. They just add that on top of on top of what the movie made, and that's how they make profit.
Utron.
Yep.
Maya Rudolph was Cynthia Utron.
Yeah, that's no wonder we don't remember that name.
Like every villain had to, like, obviously like Ice Cube was clowning the Superfly, but Paul Rudd had his Mondo Gecko scene. Hannibal Buress, his Genghis Frog. Post Malone had that one scene where he was singing. Leatherhead, Bebop, Rocksteady. Yeah, like they gave focus to, like, they held off on Shredder. Obviously, the mid-credit scene, we getting Shredder in the sequel. But like they let all of these other characters get a little bit of shine in this first movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's. I don't know. I wonder if.
I want to go watch
imagine it'll be nominated. We're just assuming it was for the anime because they got only 3 slots in that category.
Only
right?
3 movies get nominated for Best Animated Feature.
I believe.
Oh man. So
I'm probably mistaken. You have to look that up. Let me see.
Animation has been too fire this year though. Cause fucking Mario, Elemental, Spider-Verse, Turtles. You got another Disney movie coming.
Wish.
Wish.
I mean, at the end of the day, still my favorite movie is Across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
That's easy.
Yeah. That's my favorite movie this year, and Turtles is my number 3. I want to watch this. I want to watch this shit again before my theater dumps it.
Let's see. To look at that there. But yeah, hopefully it'll be a sequel. I think it deserves one, and
I think so.
Hell yeah.
We said Turtles was your number 3. What's your number 2?
Oppenheimer? That's my number 2.
No, I mean animated.
Oh, animated?
Oh, I was talking about 1 and 3 for the year. Those are my top 2 animated movies.
You meant animated.
Nah, my third favorite animated movie is Elemental.
That one's dope. Yep.
Right.
Underrated.
Yep. But let's break. Come back.
How did that do? Oh no. Talk about that.
It's like it started kind of like lukewarm. Like Flash outgrossed it opening weekend by like 10, 15 million, but it got legs.
It's at, like I said, as of now, it's at 444.8 mil.
Oh wow! I thought it was. Didn't know it was doing that good.
Yeah, it was supposed to lose hundreds of millions of dollars the way it started, and then it just kept going. Word of mouth helped it out.
Interesting.
Yeah, Barbie is only when these weekend numbers come out, Barbie's gonna be the highest grossing movie of the year.
Yep, it's gonna pass Super Mario Brothers
domestically. Elemental domestically has made 151.
Mm.
Turtles has made 88 domestically. I don't even see the Flash on this motherfucker.
Yeah, oh yeah, I was mistaken. It's 5 slots for animated feature.
You liar.
It is 5, right?
Yeah.
Flash only made 108.
Domestic.
Rude.
Damn.
It is what it is.
Yeah, let's break. We can chop it up, talk Blue Beetle on the back half before Eric starts eating all up in the mic.
Now I have nothing to say.
Whatever you just said is on wax. Hey man, like these, I wanted to talk more Turtles, but these dudes like hijacked my show. Blue Beetle came out this weekend, so once again, if you haven't seen no Blue Beetle, go see it. Come back. I'm not gonna be vulgar about it this time. Eric, what you think?
Oh, I gave it out of 5. My heart rating 3.5, 3.5. It was what's the way to put it? Serviceable. It wasn't
That's it.
bad. It wasn't nowhere near great. Is a lot of elements in it were, like we spoke off air, generic. It's not didn't introduce anything new to us. A lot of cliches and tropes we see, like with a lot of superhero movies. But I love the visual style of the movie. Cinematography is decent. I like the score, but yeah, it's just nothing wild or like ooh or made you jump out of your seat. But it was just, it's like a head nod. Like okay, you're trying.
You gonna remake your whole look after George Lopez?
I'll take that pickup truck though, but
the newer one.
Yeah, the taco.
Nah, bro. Like,
but yeah,
why they bring him in?
Yeah.
They brought him in on some like conspiracy theorists and all of this, and then they kind of dumped that whole thing.
Yeah, it really didn't go anywhere, did it?
No.
Yeah, and he just turned him into a tech guy.
Yeah, he became the guy in the chair.
Yeah, but yeah, it was just okay, just good, and we'll see.
Rocket. I gave it, I think, what I say, a 7.5 out of 10. So about on a scale of 3.75 out of 5. To me, it's a little different. Like I said, it's a generic, like nothing amazing about it. The vibe, I like the aesthetic of it. I like the CGI of it. It gave me that 80s vibe with the colors and all that, you know, to a degree. But the reason why I gave it that ranking was me being Latino and all that. That's how the Latin family is. It's close, tight. And I think in the movie, those were the scenes that lifted this movie up. You know, there was a lot of, heartfelt things, when his dad, me growing up, when he comes out of college, they're, celebrating, and, he finds out they're going to lose the house. They're losing this. And then he tips the waitress 25%, and the mom is like, what are you doing? He's like, no, we'll figure it out. And I find myself telling my wife when something goes wrong, we'll figure this out. It'll work. It'll be okay. And it's just funny because as a Latino, like growing up in my family, that's how it is. No matter how tough times are, we will get through this together. So it hit me differently. But to me, that's what lifted this movie up. Like if you take the family aspects out of it, the storyline was not. I mean, I could have been the villain. You know what I mean? It's like it's Susan Sarandon, a fantastic actress. She was wasted. I think she was wasted. She was just there to be there, like a big name.
Yeah,
that's the. Right. And I think that's the thing is, it's a movie like this, Blue Beetle. You got Zola Muerduena. Everybody knows her from Cobra Kai.
Mm-hmm.
You know, has a lot of charisma. I really like him. I think they cast him perfectly for this role.
Yeah.
I hope he has future success and more stuff to come. You know, people see him as, you know, you have TV actors and then you have movie actors. I think he can do both.
Yeah.
Okay? And I think with Susan Sarandon and George Lopez, they were casted because those are the two big names that people know the most, if you think about it.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so that kind of helped, you know, if you have fans of George Lopez, Susan Sarandon. Like, Susan Sarandon hasn't been
Even though
in a while.
if anybody was paying attention, they would know that Mom Dukes was in Predator.
Yes. Yep.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
Yep. But
Busted.
me overall, like I said, you know, we all said, story-wise, superhero movie, generic. Has a lot of potential, especially that first mid-credit scene.
Yes.
That could go. You could if James Gunn,
they'll never touch it again.
Decides, I agree. But if I wish they do, you know, just playing devil's advocate, if they take that could be very, very interesting, and I think that could elevate the next movie,
especially with the backstory that they gave that character.
Exactly. I would love to see him, you know, Zolo play this character again down the road. Will they? Who the heck knows? But like I said, the family aspects is what rose this movie up for me, and I enjoyed it. I think it's a fun movie to a degree, but it's nothing new that we got.
I ain't gonna lie to you. The family in the third act was whack to me. Granny was in that motherfucker with a cannon that weighed more than she did, and I was not feeling that shit.
No. I think that was actually one of the more funnier parts.
No. Nah, I mean, like, comic book humor has not hit me this year. I didn't think Ant-Man was funny. I didn't think Shazam was funny. I did not think this was funny.
Yeah. And that's funny. Well, no, it's not funny, but no, it's interesting what you say about that. I was talking to somebody about humor, and so we're going to go back a little bit. It's just like what we were saying with, I don't think we were recording, we were saying is, but how the DC was trying to copy the template of Marvel Studios. And also something they were trying to do, concentrate on, is what the mistake they made with hiring Josh Whedon for the Justice League. So, as big of an a-hole as he is, and I hate this, he's a talented a-hole, Josh Whedon. He set that comedic tone for the MCU with the Avengers. If you think about it, it rose all the way. He said it. James Gunn, I think, perfected it with Guardians. And then you have everybody else. And with Ant-Man, Edgar Wright had his fingerprints on that. He wrote that script. That's why that's the best Ant-Man. And that humor, and anybody else that's trying to do it, you can tell when it's forced. You can see the Russos probably tried their best to stay away from it, but I'm sure they got Post-it notes from powers to be, because Winter Soldier really doesn't have that.
Nah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, Black Widow has a couple like quippy lines, but
that's what I mean. I'm sure they threw those like, give somebody something to do, and I guarantee you they tried to fight it, and it's like that humor. They're trying to put that, the comic book movies have to have this goofy wink wink humor moment, and they don't. I think that's kind of what's ruining them, and they don't realize that all writers can't do this type of humor successfully. You know what I mean?
Well, like I said, we'd pay them more.
I guess that's what they think. Because James Gunn, you go back to before Marvel, watch James Gunn movies, Super and Slither and all that. That's James Gunn's comedic style.
Yeah.
He's good at it. And even Josh Whedon with the stuff he did before, like Serenity and all his other stuff.
Never heard of her.
But yeah, everybody's not good at it, and they should let people play to their strengths with their force and his humor. And I forget my boy Taika Waititi, especially with Thor, Ragnarok.
But what he has done for us lately was poo.
Yeah, I didn't mention Love and Thunder.
Now you did, and it sucks.
Yeah, and you gotta have a balance with that type of humor. You can't hit over the head with it. It's basically what I'm trying to say. And yeah, it doesn't translate because I think it worked too. Almost, but I see where Randy's coming from though. It's a tricky, a slippery slope to mess with.
I gotta find my iPhone off.
But yeah,
I just feel like that's the hard part is to incorporate it in a movie humor, where it seems like it comes just like a quick one line, natural, smart ass remark. You know what I mean? Like we know people, we know humor's coming, it's gonna hit here and there or not hit, but you got to make it look as though it's natural. Don't force it in there just to get a laugh.
And that's it. And also with George Lopez, you see it. Delivery is important.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like a throwaway line. You hear it in the background, but I giggled at it. It was funny. The first time Zolo turned into Blue Beetle, and then they put the blanket around him. He goes into his room. You hear George Lopez. They're like you can keep that blanket. You have chorizo on it, if I believe he said it.
Yeah.
And that was funny to me. And,
they was like, bro, he got a little meat.
Yeah. But that's no coincidence because what is George Lopez? A comedian.
Little meat.
I think that's the thing with him, though, is I think, he was a conspiracy theorist in the beginning, but I think they try to make him, since he's a comedian, well, we're going to make him funny.
Yeah.
No, he's a comedian by nature. He is funny. He's naturally funny. They were trying to make him too funny, I feel like.
And I guarantee you, go ahead.
And that line that you said about, keep the blanket, I don't want your chorizo on it. He said, all that's what makes him funny. It's the little, because that sounded more natural in real life.
I guarantee you he ad-libbed that.
I guarantee it as well. I believe that. But, you have a comedian, they try to make him funny. No, he's a comedian because he's naturally gifted and funny. You don't have to make somebody funny who's a comedian.
Right. And you can tell the stuff that
Belissa Escobedo played his sister. She was funny too.
Yeah, she was good.
She was funny. She was funny at the beginning, but the more serious the story got, and she wasn't in the movie, the humor kind of died down a little bit.
Yeah, but I don't know what comes out next week. That's gonna take away some of that box office from Blue Beetle, if anything.
Apparently, the phenomenal, mind-blowing, game-changing Gran Turismo.
You just really.
There's a good there's 4 movies that come out every year that it's just like, I don't give a fuck about this, but I'm gonna watch it though. And Gran Turismo is just one of them. I'm seeing Gran Turismo because I like Neil Blomkamp.
Yeah, I think that's everybody. And you see on these ads, I don't know if y'all seen it, they really pushing that 98% Rotten Tomato rating.
Because the masses ain't seen it yet.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see.
Well,
what about you, Sean? You plan on going to see it?
I'll probably watch it because I'm an idiot, but I'll go see it. Yeah.
He stole my line.
Yeah, I'll just go out there.
And bro, everything with Susan Sarandon just felt like some CW type shit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like I could see in Blue Beetle, I could see certain aspects of CW in there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I could see certain aspects like this could be a really good movie in there. And I think that's where, like, it was CW humor and certain lines with that. But like I said, the family and heartfelt stuff was more like movie related because there are people going through tough times as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
We see it.
Yeah.
So that part of it was like, okay, I can see this. Let's keep the family aspect in it to a degree, and let's build around that. But the superhero and all that, it was more CW. Like I could see this, being after like Arrow and the Flash on Thursdays. Here is Blue Beetle. You know what I mean? Like that's the funny thing about it. Like that, those were the aspects how I saw it. So it's like a little mix of both. Like I said though, I agree with you, Randy. I don't think they'll ever touch that mid-credit scene, but I hope they think, rethink, because that could be real interesting.
Yeah,
that could be real interesting.
Because I had I had heard coming up like that there was Susan Sarandon was playing the brother of one of the original Blue Beetles, and then we get that like kind of like Mission Impossible-esque like this is the prelude like dude like was Blue Beetle, and then we find out in the movie like he never had the beetle,
had the power.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And in the mid-credit scene, dude is still alive. Like that could be fire.
Yeah, and that's the great thing about it is with Ted Kord, like the origin was he was Blue Beetle, all this other stuff. But I like that take as well. Is well, yeah, he was Blue Beetle, but he never had the Scarab. He just took technology that the Scarab had, and he made his gadgets. He made his gadgets, like, which was cool. Like, he was the poor version of Batman, if you think about it. But, so he had the money to take whatever technology the Scarab had, and he could make a tweak of it, of his own. So, that was kind of cool. That take. It's kind of like Ant-Man. Where, it's Michael Douglas was Ant-Man, but now Paul Rudd is the new Ant-Man. Like, I like that take.
Yeah.
Hank Pym was the original, and through the comic books, well, it ain't Hank Pym no more. He's an older guy and all that. That's where this kind of, like you said, Randy, they trying to take a little bit of everything from different comic book stories, and that's how they kind of did it here. Ted Kord was Blue Beetle in the comic books, all that, but now he never got the Scarab. He just took technology from it to become Blue Beetle.
Yeah.
So that's interesting in its own way, right there.
Yeah, but going back, when does the new Aquaman supposed to come out?
Christmas.
Yeah. Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
December.
It's gonna be.
That's the last one I think for DC for this year.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, maybe ever. No.
No.
Nah, but for a while, right?
I think it's the last DC movie until James Gunn's Superman Legacy comes out.
Yeah, 2020. Well, when is that slated for?
July 25.
Yeah, 25. Yeah, and with the strike, he was done with it before the strike, but
yeah,
the script, yeah.
Check this out. So we had Ant-Man Quantumania come out. Not a good movie. Disappointing. But you had Guardians 3 come out. Fantastic movie.
Yeah.
If you combine those two movies, remember, we got the Marvels coming out in November. If you combine those two Marvel movies, it's about 1.2, 1.3 billion combined. You could you already got Black Adam, Shazam! Fury of the Gods, and Blue Beetle, and we don't know what Blue Beetle's going to end up at, and you still have Aquaman. You could have 4 DC movies not even hit $1 billion.
Total.
That's crazy.
Because Fury of the Gods made 133 and Black Adam made 393. That's what? Just over $500,000? And you still don't know what Blue Beetle has or what Aquaman's going to make. Meanwhile, you have a shitty movie in Quantumania, but a good movie in Guardians, and they've already made over $1 billion. And they still have Marvels coming out. So that's how far this DC has to come.
Yeah.
Because they might have 4 movies that might not even make combined $1 billion. That's not even including what the budgets were. That's the funny part.
If it wasn't for James Gunn's announcement, man, I'm confident that they would have got $1 billion out of 4 movies.
That's crazy. How that works. What's crazy about MCU? I saw an article that touched on this. You really don't think about it. They only have.
Did it have consent?
Stupid. No, they only have 2 in all of the TV shows and all of the movies, supposedly they only have 2 rotten reviews.
That's crazy.
And what do y'all think it is?
Love and Thunder, Eternals, and I'm out.
Thor Dark World, I say, is one of them. Thor Dark World.
Yeah. So this article was supposedly bashing. It was made to bash Secret Invasion. And so Secret Invasion, I was about to say Elementals.
Oh, we counting TV shows? Eternals.
No. Yeah, the TV shows, Eternals. And you know what's the name was actually Fresh. Love and Thunder.
Trash.
No, that's yeah, the Fresh. Yeah, go look it up if I'm not mistaken. Because they said it's only 2, and they were talking about Secret Invasion and no, this year. I'm talking about.
Oh, this year. Oh.
Yeah, my fault. Y'all can. So it's Secret Invasion, and the other one is
Quantumania.
Hmm.
Quantumania.
Quantumania.
Okay.
Good.
So yeah, out of everything, TV shows and movies.
Interesting.
So.
I mean, only 2 of their 3 releases have been rotten this year.
Yeah, and Guardians.
Everybody hit the panic button.
I don't even think they have they probably only have a handful of rottens total.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Thor: The Dark World rotten.
I don't know.
Let's find out.
Let's see, Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh,
no, it's
fresh. It's fresh.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
It's got to be right there on the line.
Yeah, 66%.
It's 66. Yeah. That's crazy.
No, and believe it or not, Love and Thunder is not rotten. It's fresh.
That's bullshit.
That's even closer. It's close to rotten, 63%. You throw in 2 more bad reviews, it's probably going below.
Well, let me review it and let me set up a burner. Holy fuck.
That's crazy how that works. But yeah.
Yeah.
So
but it goes to show, like movies, it's, it depends on how movies hit. The same thing with the humor. It's some people think it's funny, some people don't.
Well, as soon as Thor lost his invite to the orgy, I was out.
Oh God!
I was out before that.
And what the hell is it? That's a shame. I'm trying to put it out of my mind so much. The freaking movie we just talked about, the Marvel.
Eternal.
I keep wanting to Eternal. I keep wanting to say Elemental.
That's Pixar, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, that's 47%. That's rotten. What could have been?
Yep. They just greenlit Thor 5 with Taika Waititi coming back, they say.
Oh, he said he wasn't doing it.
Trash.
Interesting.
Is Hemsworth doing it?
Yeah, he said Hemsworth said he's back.
I thought Hemsworth isn't he dealing with like medical shit and he was like taking time away from acting or something?
Well, the strike is helping, so it don't matter.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
So can they even announce Thor 5 while there's nobody to write it?
That's a good question. Probably.
I mean, it's a studio. The studio's not on strike, so they can announce whatever they want. It's like.
Supposedly they're back at. That's crazy. How many episodes have we brought up? It's been a while because it started with the writer's strike. Now it's the writers and the actors.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people on the line that's talking, and supposedly bigger actors have written.
Too bad ain't nobody listening.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I think what's the name is starting to fold. At least he put out some BS statement. Bob Iger.
Yeah.
That's nuts. And What's the show? What is it? The show you just mentioned, Randy. The Bear.
The Bear.
Yeah, a writer from that show spoke out on something.
That Bob Iger isn't paying in for Hulu residuals.
It was something. I gotta find that video, send it to you again. That's just nuts. And one actor who's been around, he just lost his apartment, and I'm like, God, dog. Like, and these goofballs, it's not even worth arguing with them. And to show you how much the regular normie person in general doesn't know, at least do research before you speak on it, because people just take their assumption. Like, oh, all these rich millionaires complaining about, no. The Brad Pitts, the Tom Cruises, and all those they're only 1%.
That's exactly it.
Of Hollywood. And all these, and they don't realize that a lot of these actors and writers, especially the actors, are doing so because they love it. You know what I mean? And like even actors, the bigger actors who probably won't have to worry about financial stuff. Edward Norton, we've heard a thing or two about him. He probably has an ego, but like he does a lot of it's Wes Anderson stuff, and he was talking about how he only got paid $4,000.
Oh, I heard. I don't know if it was him. I heard somebody be taking L's doing Wes Anderson movies. They're just that good.
Way below scale. They just want to work. I mean, a lot of these actors, successful now, they love acting, and a lot of people don't realize that. And then they come out and say, and I love the retorts that the actors have, like, quit complaining. They're like, okay, you don't want to support us? Don't watch movies. Don't watch TV shows.
Basically.
Don't watch talk shows.
Basically.
Well, WB's in hot water with the actress who does The Nun. I don't know if you heard about that.
I saw something about that.
So in her contract, she's suing WB because they lied to her about their profits. So basically, when you act or you play a character, they own your likeness. Well, in her contract, she gets points for her likeness, whether it's toys, T-shirts, all the ancillary stuff.
They straight lied to her.
And they straight lied to her. So her and her lawyers were talking. WB was saying their profits were this, but then when they got the spreadsheet, their profits were a different number. So now she's suing WB, and like it's funny because before Discovery bought WB, everybody was hyping up David Zaslav, saying this guy's phenomenal, this guy is smart, this guy's this.
He's a jackass.
And now, like, the more you know of what's going on, it seems like he's a dirtbag. You know what I mean? It's like it's now granted, all these CEOs want money. Like Bob Iger. You hit it on the head the last time we were on, Eric. He says that actors and writers are asking for too much. Meanwhile, he gets a raise, and he's at the $1 billion country club.
Yeah, he's saying that.
And he's saying that. Meanwhile, you're at a country club that's for billionaires. So it's easy to say that when you're making the money. But at the end of the day is, like you said, the Brad Pitts, the Robert Downey Jr.'s, they're the 1%. That's why they're in all these movies where people associate all these actors with them. Well, they're rich. Everybody's rich if you're acting.
Yeah.
Doesn't work that way.
Nah.
I saw a video. It was an actor who did stuff on the Disney Channel. My wife's little, brother and sister used to watch.
I know the
shows.
one you talking about. How
they changed the title in season 3.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. So basically, like he was on the show like Linden and Maddie or something. So they say after 3 seasons, after 3 seasons, you start getting paid. So after 3 seasons, they'll be like, Liv and Maddie go to California. So now it's a whole new reboot.
New
so
show.
they don't have to pay them.
Yeah.
So they keep on switching up after every 3 years. It's the same. It'll be the same show.
That's
but
so
they just
trash.
Keep on changing it
it's,
up. So they don't
technicalities.
Yeah.
But yeah, they really need to. Yeah, they really need to buckle this down. But yeah, it all comes down to it's basically Netflix and these big studios.
Mm-hmm.
They took advantage of But yeah, that's why I wouldn't want to. Cause my knucklehead brother,
Damn.
has no, I'm telling him he's a knucklehead. He,
Cold blooded.
no, he's an actor, and he does. What's the show? What's the show with William H Macy? It's just went off on Showtime.
Shameless.
Yeah, so you know that's a lot of that is shot in Chicago.
Chicago,
my brother
man.
still is. And he, if you watch Shameless, you've seen him in the background playing basketball or walking by or in the police station.
Nice.
And this background actor, not so much an extra as a background actor, because extras, because I think it's a little crazy thing that separates the two. Because you'll see, like at a dinner scene, a background actor be talking in the background, but they won't be audible. That's not an extra. So, but you look outside the window, people walking by are extras.
Interesting.
Which is weird.
That's discrimination.
It's something. But yeah, my brother, he's doing his independent stuff and non-union stuff, so he's still working. But
Yeah.
he, my brother told me the story. He got caught up. He would have got his SAG card. What's the Adam Sandler, the basketball movie?
Hustle.
So they filmed that in Philadelphia, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And my brother almost got a role as one of the basketball players who had 2 or 3 lines, but he had to go to Philly. And it's something he basically, I guess he couldn't make it, or because you know you got to pay your own dollar to get there.
Yeah, pay your own way. Yep.
And yeah, it was something about the union, the reason why he couldn't do it. Because, yeah, I think because he wasn't in the union was why they couldn't hire him. Because you have to earn it with a certain amount of credits that you get. It's a crazy thing. I honestly wouldn't want to be an actor. If I got in the business, I probably won't be behind the camera or something.
You heard the actor, Billy Porter. He had to sell his house because he's on strike. Billy Porter, yeah. It took him, he said, 30-something years to get to where he got. And
if we just won a bunch of awards.
Yep, and he's had a lot of stuff in the works now, but because of the strike, who knows if those projects are even going to come to hand? And now he has to sell like his house.
I thought that's who you was talking about. Lost their apartment.
Maybe that's who Eric was talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it wasn't Billy Porter. It was somebody else. But I know who Billy Porter is.
Yeah.
But that's even more. That's even more terrible.
And he's won awards, and that's the thing is you got actors who have won awards, Emmys. You know, you would think, you win an Emmy, even though it's for TV. I'm locked in for life. You know, I could pick and choose. Nah, don't work that way. Don't work that way.
That goes to another entertainment area of music. A rapper named Jadakiss Children. If you don't know who he is, look him up.
Yep.
J to the noir.
In one of his lines, he was like, "You keep them awards, my son can't eat those plaques."
He ain't lying.
Yeah. He has an Emmy, a Golden Globe. I think he almost probably has an EGOT, but you just and you gotta sell your house. But I got an Emmy.
That's crazy. Man.
You know what'll keep me warm at night? Those degrees.
Like, oh man. And even Weird Al. Weird Al, for people who don't know, has a master's degree or something in biochemical engineering, something you wouldn't think. And before he made it big in his music, he tells a story how he was applying a job at McDonald's. And he said, they told him, you're overqualified for this. He's like, yeah, but I gotta eat.
Yeah.
They're like, man, I need money.
I need money.
But yeah, I hope they settle that quick. But nobody.
They need to.
So we can wrap it up on that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we were still recording. We was rambling like a motherfucker. So
Yeah.
Blue Beetle is cool. Turtles is really good. Next time, man, I got 2 fantasy football drafts on the next day that we supposed to pod, and we might, I don't know, that's Equalizer weekend. I'm not sure what we gonna talk about. Maybe Denzel whooping ass. Maybe talk about his only trilogy. Maybe talk about some Antoine Fuqua. The options are out there. It is Rec League Podcast, and I will be back to put a bow on this bitch. Yo, everything I'm saying, man, I mean truly. I'm not an 824 fanboy, but you could talk to me. With anybody else, I am not mixing your business. I'm not a chemist. It'll always be negativity, just ignore all the chatter. Don't let anybody convince you that you don't matter, cause you do. Just drown out the haters and the bullies, anybody that's rude. Whatever's on your mind needs to be addressed, cause it's important to you. If we family, friends, strangers, please reach out. If you just want to vent, no advice, call DM, please speak out. People get their flowers at a time when they can't even smell them. Tomorrow's not promised. If you love somebody, make sure they know it and tell them. I believe in the Bible, so I could never be suicidal, but it's some that feel all hope is lost and their closest folks not reliable. Mental health is real. For some, solitude is a fear. If you feel like it's nowhere else to go, I just want you to know that I'm here. And chill until the next episode.